Before I tell my story, I think an important thing to know about me is that I have lived in Lancaster for quite some time, like a solid decade. And during this time, I have gone to Central Market pretty much twice a week as long as I can remember, making it part of my life and everything I do. And so there was this infamous Saturday, and I'm at Central Market with my mother, who is lovely, but lives in Manheim Township and wears a lot of like leopard print, you know? So she looks like the what I would refer to as a city dweller, like a Central Market amateur on Saturdays. And so we're there, and she's pushing the stroller with my child in it. And I'm walking around, I'm doing my thing, I'm taking advantage of the fact that she has my son, so I don't have to worry about him. And so I'm like, hey, you know, watch this stuff, I'm gonna go deal with this. And there's, in the front of the stroller, there's this, of course, sorry, obnoxious stroller in the middle of Saturday market. I should note that. If you've ever been to market on a Saturday and there's strollers, you just want to kill those people. So anyway, and there's a cup holder in the front, and I just like tuck my phone into the cup holder. And so I tuck it in, and I'm walking down, and I'm kind of looking back at my mom every once in a while, but just like placing my order at one of the fruit and vegetable stands and throwing in a bunch of orders. And I look over, and I watch this guy, and he walks down past the stroller, and I watch him just reach his hand in and take my phone. So he thinks it's my mom. You know, she's got these like scarves and this outfit, and she's the hair, and you know, he's just like easy target. She's pushing her clearly grandchild around. So, and I watch him do it, and from a distance. And so he doesn't know me, but Leah doesn't tolerate these things. So I immediately follow him, because I'm not going to handle this like in a normal way, because you stole my phone clearly in plain sight, and I watched you, and it wasn't even that savvy. So I walked along, and I follow him out the door. And so if you're familiar with where Weaver's is, if you are Central Market people, I follow him right out the door into the alley. And so it's like the darker alley of Market, you know? So there's vans and buses around, and I'm just like this crazy white small girl chasing him. And I clarify that only because it seems a little uncharacteristic in the way that I responded. But anyway, I follow him in the alley, and I was like, hey, wait. I'm like, you took my phone. And he's like, what? You know, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Actually, it reminded me of the way you described the 12-year-old boy in Honduras, actually. Like, very like, oh, no, I don't know. And I'm like, no, dude, I watched you take it. Like, physically, I saw it. You know, you can't really deny that this occurred. And he's like, no, I don't know. And he's like lifting up his shirt, and I'm like, it's unnecessary. And I'm like, just give me my phone, and we can just pretend this didn't happen. Like, let's let it go. And, you know, I'm not gonna let you go. Like, I know you think that like my mom was the suburban person, but I live here. Like, this is my city, and like, you can't mess with people here. Like, I will find you. So, because I'm like serious about Lancaster. I love it. And so anyway, so he's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about, and we're having this debate, and then like, of course, other people are starting to gather, like people are noticing that there's this confrontation, and so he's like noticing the attention and wants to leave the scene. So he's like, here, just check my bag, and he throws his backpack at me, and so I like catch the backpack, and he, you know, sprints off, obviously, because he's skilled. And I didn't know what was happening. I was just like this crazy person who chased him in an alley. So I was like, well, I'm gonna chase him. So I take the bag and I start chasing him, and he's faster than me. I mean, this is all, and he also had a head start, just saying, I'm pretty fast. So he had a head start, he gets ahead of me, and like, I chase him, and he goes down, if you are familiar with this area, like around Dipco, and then down like Market Alley, and he gets into Central Market Mall, and then like loses me in the mall. And I'm like, oh, and I've got this guy's backpack, and I'm like trying to remember everything he's wearing, and like thinking through everything about him. And so I go back to the market, and I'm with his backpack, and I see my mom, and she's like, oh my gosh, why would you do that? You know, that dude could have stabbed you. Or she didn't say dude, because it's my mom. So she would have said, she was like, that guy could have stabbed you, Leah. And I'm like, how does he know I'm not gonna stab him? Like, I mean, I was this person who chased him in an alley. Like, and anyway, and so then I talk to the market manager, we call the police, like an hour goes by, and I'm like, you know what, just take my son home. I'm gonna walk around till I find him. And my mom's like, I don't know if that's safe. And I'm like, I think it's a good idea. So, is that fine? Yeah, okay, oh, good. Okay. So, and I'm like, no. I'm going to find him. I live here. If he's hanging around Central Market stealing people's phones, I'm going to see him again. Because I'm here twice a week, maybe 3 times. He's going to see me, and I'm going to know him. So I start looking around the area. So my mom takes him home, and I'm like searching Lancaster. I know. And so I'm in the future also, so according to Mike Birbiglia. So anyway, I go around and I'm chasing him, kind of, not chasing him, but like physically walking around. And then finally I'm at Binns Park. And I'm walking down Binns Park, and across from Binns Park is, of course, this no man's land. I feel like it's a theme, so I might as well bring it up. Across the street that clearly needs to be developed. And there he is, just so I know, not to get political. But, so, I mean, true, right? Right, okay. So, I mean, it's a fact. And I see him, and he's there, and I'm like, oh, this is him. And I've, by the way, called the police and told them, and they don't care, because this is just like so low on their radar. And so I'm across, and great, they're awesome police force, not to knock them, but like it's not that important. So anyway, and he's across the street, I see him, so I start tailing him, because I'm like, I'm gonna just follow him until I can confront him again. And so I start following him. Meanwhile, I see a person on the side, like a parole person, or not parole, street patrol person, and I tell her what's happening. At the same time, I call the police. Anyway, long story short, we end up sort of intersecting with this guy on Duke Street. And in the hour and a half that it took for me to find him again, he had already stolen my phone, had cash in his pocket, and sold it to somebody somewhere in Lancaster. And yeah, so the moral of the story is don't mess with me in an alley at Central Market, I guess. And that like people in Lancaster care about Lancaster, and you know, good stuff. Anyway, sorry, I heard the bell and I had to rush.